Dr. Peter Glidden here on the 7th day of January 2013, wishing you and yours a very, very productive, happy, healthy, and wealthy 2013. And by becoming affiliated with the Longevity Company as an associate, as a business builder, for the incredibly ridiculously large fee of $10, it's a get your feet wet associate, try it on for size, kick the tires, slam the doors, drive it around the block, $10. You can become a Longevity associate, and as a Longevity associate in this Longevity network, that's directed by Fire Your MD Now, you will have access to excellent training, fantastic hand-holding information that changes people's lives, and we will show you a proven method through which you can dramatically increase your monthly revenue, your monthly income, and then your quarterly income, and then your yearly income, just by helping people in your world, in your community, to recover their health. And why is this such an effective program? Because everybody is your customer. Why is everybody your customer? Because the predominant medical model in the United States for the last 100 years is and has been MD-directed, reductionistic, pharmaceutical-centrist medicine, in which medical doctors, medical professionals are only trained to manage your symptoms. Manage your symptoms. They don't cure anything. Well, you know, they do. They can stitch up a wound, but even when they do that, your body cures it. Well, I guess they can cure pneumonia sometimes, you know, unless they give you so many antibiotics in your life that now the bacteria that are living in your body have become antibiotic resistant. But, you know, give the devil his due. They can fix that stuff, but they can't fix the majority of stuff that most of us go to the doctor for. So everybody in your community is sick and suffering. Everybody needs to know what we need to know, especially when it comes to weight loss. And we talk a lot about weight loss here, you know, in the context of people who are, 150, 175 pounds overweight, 100 pounds overweight. That's too much, right? And, you know, we focus, and that, by the way, 30%, if you're in that category, number one, it's not your fault. Number two, don't feel bad. Number three, if you want to blame somebody, blame your medical professional, because it's their job to take care of your health. And if you're 100 pounds overweight, I don't care if you're 5 pounds overweight, they've dropped the ball. It's not your fault. It's your doctor's fault. And, you know, you're not alone. 33% actually, of American adults are obese. And when you're obese, you're not just a little overweight, you are overweight. And we talk a lot about that population. But today, we're going to talk about a different population. What if you just want to lose a couple pounds? What if you just want to lose 5, 10 pounds? What if you want to get ripped at the gym? How is Longevity going to help you in that regard? And if it does help you in that regard, how can you then parlay that into a money-making, at-home business enterprise? Well, I have the answer to all those questions coming out of one person. His name is Matt. He has a fantastic testimonial about all of this, and he's joining us right now. Matt, thanks for coming aboard. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden, how you doing?
Pretty good, Matt. Let's give Matt a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Matt, thanks for everything that you do. So bring us up to speed with, you know, your experience before Longevity and after Longevity. Kind of set the stage for what you'd like to talk about.
Sure, absolutely. I guess initially I heard about Tangy Tangerine, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, on the Alex Jones show, and I heard you interviewed on his show, and that's really what it was, your interview and your passion and the way you portrayed what I am missing is what got me so excited about trying Tangy Tangerine out. And to be honest, that's the only product I decided to try. Got my hands on a canister of it and started taking it. Didn't change my diet. Didn't start exercising. To set the stage, I'm about 190 pounds at that time. I had worked out most of my life off and on, but I wasn't in shape, married with 3 kids, so just kind of put working out off on the back burner. Started taking Tangy and didn't know what to expect except for maybe start losing those unwanted 15, 20 pounds. And you know how it is when you are dieting, or at least think you're dieting or exercising, you don't recognize yourself losing weight on a daily basis because you see yourself every day. You don't see yourself dropping a pound or two. It's hard to notice. So we went out on a family vacation to Rocky Point, and that's where a lot of my family members just said, "What are you doing, Matt? You look different. Something's going on." And it was pretty remarkable for me because I didn't expect anybody to say anything because I hadn't really noticed. Didn't change.
Well, you don't, right? You don't feel your hair growing, right? It's a similar thing. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
So how long had you been doing this before you were with your family?
I would say really just a couple months.
All right, so a couple months. All right, so I'm assuming then you jumped on the scale after that, right? So what happened?
Yeah, I went from the 190s to the 160s, high 160s, and I didn't think I even looked that good. I was still a little embarrassed taking my shirt off at the pool. I didn't think for somebody who works out often, I didn't feel up to snuff yet. But when I got back from Rocky Point, I thought, you know what, there must be something more to this than I'm even realizing. So I just got online and started searching more things about what you're talking about, and I found the Against the Grain video. And when I found that, as you would say, that's when my head exploded, because I had no concept of all these things that I've been putting into my body had such a negative side effect. And so I took that idea with the good food, bad food list that you have and started eliminating gluten, but also tying it in with the entire whole 90 for Life package, getting a Healthy Start pack plus selenium plus rebound during my workouts. And when I say Superman, that word isn't even strong enough. My endurance, my vascularity. I'm a 45-year-old man that has an 8-pack, and I'm ripped. And I'm not even trying that hard, Dr. Glidden. That's what's so amazing. I have a home gym, and that it consists of a pull-up bar, the ground to do push-ups on, and some dumbbells. I literally, and I know how to cheat, and I know I've put things in my body that has given me an edge before, legal and illegal. So I know of which I speak, as you would say. I know what it feels like to have things going through your veins that give you energy and strength. That is what this has done for me. It's remarkable, and I have to tell people about it because it's life-changing.
Well, I got to tell you, so here's the deal, right? So you heard about this on the radio, you heard it on the Alex Jones Show, and then you didn't want to come all in with the full Healthy Start pack, so you just started with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. And for those of you in the listening audience, Beyond Tangy Tangerine is, as far as Dr. Glidden is concerned, the state-of-the-art multiple vitamin, multiple mineral, multiple essential fatty acid, multiple nutrient supplement that you can take. It's got everything in there but the kitchen sink. It doesn't give you all 90 essential nutrients, but it comes very, very close. And as far as absorbability and potency and purity, I mean, it's unrivaled in any type of nutritional arena. This is the best all-around multi-nutrient supplement that you can take. So Matt starts to take that. He doesn't get the whole stuff, doesn't get the full 90 for life that we talk about, just starts with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and without even noticing it, loses about 20 pounds in 2 months. That's 10 pounds a month. That's 2.5 pounds a week without even noticing it. Didn't change his diet, didn't do anything different, and he loses that type of weight without any effort. And the reason that happens, ladies and gentlemen, is because the only thing that makes people gain weight is we eat too many calories. Period. It's not genetic. It's got nothing to do with your metabolic rate. It's got nothing to do with your blood type. It's got nothing to do with a pre-existing metabolic condition. You want me to prove it? Well, do a Google search for Auschwitz or Dachau. Do a Google search for concentration camps. And in the concentration camps of World War II, I want you to look at the pictures, the horrifying pictures of the people interned at the concentration camps. Were any of them overweight? No, nobody's overweight. Why? Because when you don't eat, you lose weight. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. The only reason we gain weight, we eat too many calories. The only reason we eat too many calories is our bodies are nutritionally starved. So, when all you do, no diet change, you're still eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats, all you're doing is filling your body's nutritional tank up. And not even all the way, because the Beyond Tangy Tangerine doesn't do that. Beyond Tangy Tangerine fills your nutritional tank up about 80% of the way. About 80% of the way you fill that tank up, your appetite disappears without your even knowing it, without your even having to go through any pain and suffering and calorie counting. You just start to lose weight. And then, oh my God, after that you feel, oh my God, 20 pounds, I didn't even know it. My family noticed it, I didn't know it. And then Matt comes in with the full boat. He gets the 90 essential nutrients and he cleans up his diet. And when he does all of that, all of a sudden, his workouts at the gym are giving him compound interest results. For the same amount of workout that he does, for the same amount of reps, the same amount of weight, the same amount of push-ups, he's getting more vascularity, more muscular definition, and he feels better across the board. Why is this? It's not rocket science. When you work out, you break down muscle fiber and you stress your body. And after the workout, your body attempts to fix itself and make the part that you just stressed out stronger. Well, guess what? What does it need to do that? It needs nutrients. So when you work out with a nutrified body, you get ripped. When you work out with an under-nutrified body, you get ripped off by the gym membership. Matt, this is a fantastic story. I'd like you to stick around for the next 6 minutes if you could. Can you do that?
Absolutely.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here. This is Fire Your MD Now. Please check out the website of the same name. That's fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com. And here's what I'd like you to do. When you go to fireyourmdnow.com, on the front page, there's a little button to opt into my free weekly newsletter. And when you opt into my free weekly newsletter, my website will automatically direct you to a hidden page on the website that has information for free about the 10 bad foods that we have identified, 10 foods that we have identified that will kill you just as soon. I don't even want you to look at these 10 foods, and a little video that I put together that explains why. It's free. It's right there for the taking. FireYourMDNow.com, and click on the little link that has you subscribe to my online monthly, weekly newsletter series. That's what I'm trying to say here. I can't do 5 things at once here. If you'd like to call me today or any day to talk to me live, that number 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. And if you're listening to the podcast, that number 855-347-3696 to talk to a real live human being. Now we're talking to Matt about his experience with longevity and weight loss and getting ripped at the gym without even trying. Now, Matt, you've done a lot of things in the past to help your body, kind of look better from a workout point of view, right?
Correct.
I mean, you've pretty much written the book on all of that. So, if you had to compare the Healthy Start Pack to everything else that you've done, legal and illegal, quote unquote, where would you put it?
There's nothing really like it legally, but it is as close to taking steroids as a guy, if I can just be blunt.
Yeah.
It's as close as you can get. You just don't realize what your body's capable of doing when your tank is full. And it sounds silly, and it sounds like, yeah, sure. But you don't know what you don't know, and that's what happened to me. When I got the whole 90 in me, holy cow, it's I can't put it into words. I can't explain the energy level. I mean, sometimes at 12 o'clock at night, I might be up and I'm working out. I'm just doing it. It's just remarkable stuff. And the one thing I really want people to understand is when you tie in cutting out beaten gluten with 90 for life, it really is a game changer. That last 10 or 15 pounds that sits around your belly button that all guys wish they could get rid of, whether it's because you drank beer or whatever it is, you've got this little belly, you can't get rid of the pooch, it melts away like butter in a hot pan. I mean, it's stupid easy if people just do what you tell them to do.
Now,
all
right, well, and I get it 100%. Now, has it been easy or has it been difficult getting people in your life to follow your lead? What's that been like?
Well, I've had some easy and some not so easy. Obviously, my wife, my 3 kids, all under 12, they're all 90 for lifers. My father, who he has the classic wheat belly. He's on board. He's taking the digestion pack. He's seeing remarkable results with his stomach. I mean, here's a guy who was in the Marines and drank like a silly person and has all the side effects of someone who drank and ate poor food his whole life. He couldn't have an egg. He couldn't come close to an egg. He couldn't have a cup of coffee. He couldn't eat spicy foods. Now it's all reversed. He drinks black coffee. He has his runny, sunny side up eggs every day. And, I mean, he's loving life because he gets to eat all the foods he's always wanted to eat.
Yeah, and see, this is the thing, really. When we start talking to people about this, everybody thinks, oh, we're granola heads and we're going to tell people to, go on the soy diet and become vegetarians. And then when we tell people that lard is good, that butter is good, that it's okay to drink coffee, people's heads explode. And really, this is one of the I don't know, frustrating's not the right word, but really, when anybody is involved with bringing a new set of information to the general population, what we're doing here, Matt, as you're well aware, is we're making good sense common. We're making good sense common. People just don't know what we know, and what we know is good common sense, but it's outside of the domain of what people have been taught. And, with time, 5 more years, 10 more years, 20 more years, if we keep forwarding this message, keep dribbling this ball down the court, within 30 years, everything that we do is going to be common sense for everybody in the world, and it's all going to be because of you, Matt, and everything that you've done. I can't thank you enough. Thanks for your time today. Thanks for your commitment to longevity. Now go out there and enroll somebody and get her done, buddy. Now, I've batted a lot of numbers around in the last couple of months about the profitability of the longevity company. Well, I went right to the horse's mouth, and the fact of the matter is that in 2012, the revenue of longevity jumped from $20 million to $80 million in sales. From $20 million to $80 million in sales, that's 20, 40, 60, 80, that's 400%. 400% increase in sales in 2012 in this economy. You've got to be kidding me. How is that possible for a company to grow 400%? Because everybody's sick, and because what we do works. This is the thing. I mean, look at Matt. He was, quote-unquote, skeptical. He just tried one Beyond Tangy Tangerine, one bottle of Beyond Tangy Tangerine, changed his life. And then, of course, that gave him the impetus. Now he had his foot in the door, right? And he wanted to see what the rest of it could do, and what the rest of it could do blew his mind. And this is the easiest business in the world to do, ladies and gentlemen, because all you have to do is tell the truth. You don't even need to know how to spell vitamin to be able to have a successful longevity business and to help us spread the word of health recovery through science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. You don't. If you can pass the driver's license test, you can be a member. You can be a successful member. You can completely re-energize your relationship to finances, and you won't recognize your bank account in 12 months if you follow our advice, if you're coachable, if you let us show you the simple system, because it really is simple. All that we do is we find somebody who needs money. or we find somebody who has a health issue. Now, do you know anybody in your life who needs money or who has a health issue? I mean, anybody? It's everybody, right? This is the thing. Everybody is sick and suffering, and everybody is broke. Everybody is in debt up to their eyeballs. Everybody has been a victim of the corporatization of the United States for the last 100 years. Really, we've all been dancing to that tune for too long now. We've all been putting our trust in allopathic, MD-directed, pharmaceutical-centrist, reductionistic medicine for too long. We didn't even know that it was a separate and distinct system of medicine. We just thought it was medicine. We had the wool pulled over our eyes. We've been played. The pharmaceutical industry has played you. Corporate America and the banksters have played you. If you're fed up, you want to make a difference. If you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and if you're sicker and tireder of going from paycheck to paycheck, pony up $10. Join Youngevity and let us show you how to make a difference, not only in your health, but also in your wealth, because they are intimately connected. All right, we're going right to the phones now. John is calling up with a question about muscle weakness, I believe. John, thanks so much for the call. You are live.
Hello, Dr. Glidden. It's John Keating from Seaside, California.
Hey, John Keating. How are you, man?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Very, very good. Thanks so much for the call. What's up?
Well, I have a sister of mine that's 73 years young, and she is about 110 pounds. And she's not in Youngevity, but I've been trying to get her on the products for a while, and I just found out today that yesterday she had fallen down, and she didn't hurt herself, but she's got muscle weakness. She's been told by a doctor, and I wondered what you might recommend to help her strengthen her legs or her ability to walk without having to worry about falling.
Yeah, okay. So this is an interesting thing to talk about, John. And by the way, thank you for your support. Thank you for everything that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, John Keating from California is one of the generals in our Army, our Youngevity Army. And he's going above and beyond the call of duty here, if I can use a patently militaristic male metaphor, to help people in his family and in his community make a difference. And well, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, John, in a second. But let me just segue into the business here for a minute. What's your experience with showing people our health message? What's that been like? Has it been easy? Has it been difficult? What's it like?
Well, I've shared it with a few people. My problem is that I'm still recovering from a stroke, so I don't get out and see a whole lot of people. But the people that I do have contact with, I have told them about the product, and they've seen me improve with my health. And I think it's just stubbornness on the part of some people. They've been, like you said a few minutes ago, they've been played. They don't understand medical nutrition. All they know is the standard American diet and so forth. So it's a little hard to get some people to see the light, but I'm working on it. All
right, great. Now, this brings up a good point that I'd like to underline, and then I'll tell you what to do for the muscle weakness in the legs. So, if you knocked on your neighbor's door tomorrow or this afternoon, as soon as you hang up, you went over to your neighbor's house and said, "Hey, Fred, I know how to fix your high blood pressure. Hey, Mary, I know how to fix your arthritis. Hey, Wilma, I know how to support and promote the ability of your body to have healthy blood sugar." They'd look at you like you had three heads, right? Because, who the heck are you? You're not a medical professional. And let me tell you, being a licensed naturopathic doctor for 24 years, even when I told my parents what to do, they looked at me like I had three heads, because, it's what they say. People are never accepted in their hometown, because they're still looking at you like you're a little kid. So it's a difficult situation no matter which way you cut it. So what we have found works best in order to kind of optimize your time and optimize your effectiveness. And listen up, in the listening audience, I'm gonna give you the secret to having $1 million Youngevity business. This is the secret. It's right here. Remember, it has to be simple. The system has to be so simple that anybody can do it. And the secret is, rather than becoming the chef, you take people to the restaurant. Rather than becoming the expert, you take people to the expert. Rather than becoming the artist, you take people to the museum. So when we find people in our lives that are sick and suffering or that need more money, all that we do is we lend them a CD. You lend them Dr. Wallach's Dead Doctors Don't Lie CD, which is a classic. Sold over 80 million copies, and that's a lot. Lend them one of my CDs, Healing is Easy. And embedded in the information in those CDs is the truth. And the truth resonates with people. That's all you need to do with Youngevity, is lend people the CDs, let them listen to the CDs, and after they listen to the CDs, then you recover the CDs and see if they're interested, see if they'd like to know more. Because when you let the experts do the talking, people will resonate to it. And then all you do is you just become a conduit. I knew one guy who made himself a multimillionaire in Youngevity. All he did was mail out CDs. That's all that he did. He mailed them out, and they had little, 800 numbers to call if you wanted more information. And he built a Youngevity enterprise, a dynasty. He didn't go door to door. He did it through direct mail. There's a million ways to skin this cat, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to become the expert. All that you do is take people to the expert and let us speak the truth. And when we speak the truth, it resonates with people. And just like Matt, that's what happened to Matt, right? He heard me on the radio. He said, well, something sounds right about that. You know what? That makes sense to me. I'm going to try it. And then the rest is history. So really, the less talking that we can do, as Youngevity associates about it, the better. So I would encourage you, John, to lend CDs, like a maniac. And really, if you're staying at home recovering from a stroke, it might not be a bad strategy. Buy 50 or 60 CDs and mail them out. I don't know, give it a try and let me know what happens. Now, the Chinese will tell you that in the aging process, the strength of the legs is the first thing to go. It's the strength of the legs that's the first thing to go. So, as we age, weakness in the legs is a normal, common thing, unless, of course, you're doing Youngevity and you're doing something to thwart it. So, in the same way that we need to put on a heavy coat and scarf and a hat and gloves, if we're going to go out into cold weather, we need to guard ourselves against the stress of the cold weather. Well, we need to guard ourselves against the stress of the aging process. And specifically what's recommended here is just to give this person the nutrients that they need in order to support and promote muscle mass in their legs. And then what I would, after they've been on the nutritional program for about 4 weeks, then I would recommend that they go to a gym and get a personal trainer to give them instruction on, whatever machine is appropriate for their body type at the gym in order to increase muscle strength in the legs. One of my favorite exercises is deep knee bends. That's a hard thing to do if you're all by yourself, if you're over 70 and your muscles are weak anyway. It might not be a bad idea to get a little bit of professional guidance at the gym, and there's millions of gyms all over the place. So the first thing...
I was going to suggest that maybe she just sit by the side of her bed and just, stand up and sit down and just do her squats that way, and, maybe do like 10 a day or something, and so she increase the reps and maybe get her leg strength build up.
Yeah, that's the cheapest way to do it. That's the least expensive way to do it, and that's what I do, and that's what I recommend. So that's not a bad idea. The only problem with that is if people have an inherent built-in kind of leg weakness, she may only able to do one squat at the beginning or two. And that might make her a little demoralized, So, but that's the best thing to do, and that's the cheapest thing to do. But and if she is doing that, just make sure that you tell her that every 2 or 3 days she wants to feel the burn and push it up a little bit more. Now, certainly another thing, not to overlook the obvious, right, is in addition to that, which is a specific exercise to strengthen leg muscles, walking. right? Walking. So, she walks 100 yards, and then the next day she walks 150 yards, and then the next day she walks 200 yards, or, halfway around the block, and then all the way around the block, and then all the way around the block twice, and so forth and so on. So she wants to do things with her legs in order to increase the stress to her legs, because when she increases the stress to her legs, her body will respond by strengthening the muscles if it has the nutrients necessary. So the secret sauce here really isn't that secret, right? It's the healthy start pack. Selenium, it would be one healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight. She's 105, so give her one healthy start pack a month. Give her 2 bottles of selenium a month, and as the secret sauce here, give her 1 bottle of HGH Youth Complex, and have her take 6 of those before bed. 6 of those before bed. And if you want to up the ante a little bit more, you could also give her 1 bottle of the Z Radical, or 1 bottle of the Cherry Mints or the liquid plant minerals a month, because the body, especially as we get older, needs more minerals, and both of those vehicles are a really good way to do that. The HGH Youth Complex, by the way, provides pre-digested amino acids, and amino acids are the building blocks for muscle. So that's not a bad idea when we're trying to build muscle fiber, right? So check it out. John, thanks so much for your support. Keep up the good work down there. You are the last best hope your community has for living a long, healthy, and wealthy life. I know what you're thinking to yourself, Dr. G, you should have been a singer. Yeah, it's always a tragedy when someone misses their calling in life, don't you think? Let's go right back to the phones right now. Reenie is calling in with a question about high iron content. Reenie, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. Well, thank you for taking my call. Yes, I was on your webinar a couple months ago, the blood work webinar, and I had asked you then regarding my high iron count. I have thalassemia, and which I found out like 15 years ago after taking, thinking I had iron deficiency anemia and taking iron for a number of years and taking ferrous sulfate. So at that time, when they initially told me then that I had this high iron count, it was like 900 and something, and it's supposed to be like 70 or 80 supposedly. Yeah. And so over the years, it's come down a little bit, but it's kind of like stuck at like, I just had it tested again. It was 538, the ferritin count. And so I've been taking longevity for couple of years, almost 2.5 years now, and adding more things, and and especially taking more minerals. I take at least 2 ounces of plant-derived minerals every day, along with the Healthy Start Pack and everything else that I take. And I'm wondering, something I've heard lately, should I give blood? And what else? I mean, it sounds like I really do need to take a lot of, good antioxidant.
Well, how have you been doing? I mean, before you were diagnosed, was it a definitive or a presumptive diagnosis of thalassemia, by the way?
I guess I don't know what you mean.
How long ago did they give you that diagnosis?
It was in 97, I believe, like 15 years ago.
All right. And have you done anything different since getting that diagnosis?
Other than, that's when I quit taking the ferrous sulfate, and, really overall I feel good, but I have to think that if I wasn't doing everything that I have been doing, especially with longevity the last couple of years, that maybe I wouldn't be feeling so good. But,
yeah, all right, so this begs the question, right, regardless of what the lab work says, yeah. You've got high iron in the lab work, but regardless of that, I mean, what's your experience of your life like? I mean, do you get sick all the time? Do you get frequent head colds? Do you get frequent flu? Do you have headaches all the time? Are you dog-tired all the time? I mean, what's your life like subjectively?
Overall, I feel great. I'm a competitive tennis player.
Excellent.
I need, my big New Year's resolution is to get more sleep. I need to get more sleep, and that's what is kind of funny. I mean, just being so supposedly anemic. I mean, my hematocrit and hemoglobin, all that is always so low that I really don't get a whole lot of sleep. I think I should probably get a little bit more than I do is the one thing, but I don't require a lot of sleep.
What's sleep like for you? I mean, what happens? What time do you normally go to bed?
Well, it just kind of depends. I would say, on an average, I probably get 5 to 6 hours, and usually after I mean, if I get 7 hours, I feel really good. And sometimes I can't even, hardly sleep that long. It kind of depends, unless I really need to catch up.
Yeah. Is it normally easy for you to fall asleep?
Yes.
And once you're asleep, are you out for the night, or do you wake up a bunch of times?
I'm usually out.
Well, then there's no worries, because if you're physically active like you are, and how tall are you and what's your body weight?
I'm about 5'6" and weigh around 140.
Well, yeah, that's perfect. So, you got a good weight for your body height. And if you're exercising all the time, which I'm assuming that you're doing since you do competitive tennis, and you're getting 5 hours of sleep a night, then you're good to go, because you don't really need more than that. Now, if you feel better with 7 hours of sleep, then one of the things that you can do to make sure that your body gets the sleep that it needs is, and this will be an interesting little experiment, your body knows, right? Your body has wisdom, and it knows what's going on. It knows how much sleep that it needs, and the only thing that will interrupt your sleep cycle is if the cat jumps on the bed, or the dog jumps on the bed, or the person you're sleeping with has to get up and their alarm goes off, or the morning light coming in through the window hits the back of your retina even when your eyes are closed, and that stimulates a waking cycle. It kind of shortens the circadian rhythm. So one thing that you can try to do to see if it makes a difference in like giving you an extra hour of sleep every night is go to sleep with, that black mask on your eyes like they give you when you're on the airplane, and completely shut off all the alarms. Let your body wake up when it wants to wake up, not because of light stimulation, not because of noise stimulation. That's one way to do it. Other than that, Rini, you don't have to worry about the extra iron in your body. Just continue with your program. Let it ride, and call me back in 6 months.